Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here, coming back at you with another video. Okay, so on the last video, I started the construction on building the CDI module plate for the build. And I had to get a file, because the file that I had was tapered. It's not going to work. And so I ended up getting these ones right here. Just chainsaw files, and I'll show you what that was for in a minute. So here's the plate right here, and I did the modification. Actually, it goes this way on the motor. So this is the CDI unit off of a KE100. Okay, that motor we got from Tim. And this is the plate from this bike. So I'm just going to recap. We took off this coil right here, and we installed this coil here. We had to do a couple modifications. So I'm going to show you what those were. And I gave this construction a class of an 8.5 in difficulty. I didn't use any crazy tools or anything like that. I used a flat file, and I used a what do you call it there? The round chainsaw file, which was really all I needed to do for the modification. And the reason why I gave it an 8.5 on difficulty is just because it's more trial and error than it is actual. You know, you drill this hole at this diameter here, or measure from here to here. There's no measurements. So I did it freehand. So let me explain to you what I did. Alright, so on the back here, you can see right there where it's a little shiny right there on that bank, and it's shiny on this bank. So the reason why I had to file here flat and here flat, just a little bit, is because the distance between this black piece here and this black piece here are more, on this one's narrower, on this one's a little wider, a little taller. Okay? So that was the first thing. So I had to do that. I had to grind here and grind here so that it fit properly. And to do that, I just used a flat file, and it took about maybe 3 minutes. So it wasn't really too dramatic. I followed evenly on both sides until this coil right here, the yellow one, fit on there nicely. That's pretty much it. That's all I did. And then, when I screwed the coil down, the screw holes were off. So I had to move this coil. When I screwed it on, it was sticking out this way too far, so the flywheel would hit it. So I had to take the round file, this one, and oblong the holes, or make them longer I should say, but going towards the outside. So I started here and worked my way with the file this way until it fit in properly. And that right there was pretty much what I did. The wiring is the same. You get your one side of the coil just like this one right here. This one has the little ground strap right here. You can see the little ground right there. There's your ground. On this one right here, it comes up to here. And then this is your brown wire right here that went up to your condenser. And then from your condenser to your points, and then out to the black wire. Don't have to deal with that no more. So now you have this yellow wire right here. It's in this sleeve right here. And it hooks directly up to the black wire. There is no other modifications done. So what I did was I soldered using a 30 watt soldering iron. Let's see if you can see that. Right there, 30 watt, 30W, okay, soldering iron. This is one I picked up at Walmart for 10 bucks, and it came with the solder and a little stand. It was a $10 kit, and it works great, okay? I have them, but it's in storage. I didn't want to grab out my professional one, so I grabbed this one. Okay, so now we have the, what do you call it there? The coil's mounted. Alright, now what happened was, I want to show you what this black stuff is on here. You're probably like, what the heck's that black stuff? I didn't see that in the last video. Alright, so when I was hitting the file, I actually wore off some of the insulation on the wire. And I didn't cut through the wire, I just wore off it so you could see a little bit of the copper wire. So I'm using this. This is called a liquid electrical tape. It works great, and if you ever have one of those where you can't really put tape on it, use the liquid stuff. It works really, really well. Okay, so now we're going to set this on here. I know I'm going kind of quickly. Hopefully it doesn't screw everything up. But I just wanted to give you guys a little briefing on what's going on. So Now what I'm doing now is I'm putting this on here. Now, the diameter, I know I'm jumping around. I apologize, guys. If I'm going too fast, feel free to shoot me a comment and ask me. But I want to show you guys this. There are two coils here. See how big the diameter is here? And how small the diameter is here? Okay, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to fix that, but I want to show you guys that's the problem right there. See how small this one is and how big this one is. Okay, so you're going to have a small air gap on this side. Not so much on this side, but on this side. So what I'm going to do is, because I took the round file, and made the holes along the route this way, that allows me to take the coil and move it inward, inbound. Okay? You need to have a good healthy space in between here, because you don't want the cam to hit the coils. Okay? It'll cause a short. Alright, so we have the holes all blonged out. We moved the coils in. Okay? It can have a slight air gap, I'm cool with that. And we can also dress this up a little bit more with a flat file if you wanted to. But we're going to throw a couple of screws in. I'm going to use the screws that came off the KE100, because the ones that came out of this motor were junk. Since it's all Kawasaki, it should be all the same. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. This is going to be a really cool build. We're going to be doing a lot on this engine. This is actually was a parts engine, which I decided we're going to go through it and fix a couple of things on it, because the shaft right here is stripped out. So we're going to change the shaft. We're going to change we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff to this motor. So I'm only screwing this down to hold it. I'm not tightening it. I'm just snugging it. Okay, here we go. That's when we get the motor down right. Okay, let's put that back up like it was. Here we go. Alright, so now we have that up. I have the flywheel key out. I don't know if you guys can see that on it. Flywheel key has been removed. The reason why we removed the flywheel key is so that we can rotate the flywheel without hitting anything. So we're using the factory flywheel. Okay, make sure there's no screws or anything in there. It's a 4 magnet, which is what we need for this build. There's the 4 magnet right there on this one. Now, if you have the points KE100, the mag on the outside will look exactly the same, but it'll have 3 magnets in here. We need the 4. Okay. This fits on top of here like so, and then you can rotate it, and you can see inside there that there's an air gap. Not a big one, but an air gap. And then the other thing you're going to do is take a look inside. I'm going to actually pause you for a minute. Alright. So we can rotate this no problem. Okay, it's not rubbing, it's not catching, it's not doing anything it shouldn't be doing. Then we're going to take a look. Now you see how you have a small window here, a big window, and small window. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Small, small, big, big. We're going to look in one of the big ones, and we're going to take a flashlight and focus it in there if we can. You guys can see the air gap between the coil? You can see the coil right there, the light. That means that the cam is not touching it. We have beautiful clearance. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for clearance between here and in here, because we don't want to touch it. This coil right here is the factory coil. We don't care about that. That's not going to move. That's not going to change. That's 100% fine. Leave it alone. It's this side right here that we're concerned about. This is the side we're modifying. So now that we have that part done, we can then put the nut on here and torque it down to 36 foot-pounds. Okay? So that's pretty much it. It just goes on like that. Rotate it. Make sure it's not rubbing. You can't feel no grinding. It feels good. You know, everything's all good in the hood. Now, you're probably like, okay, that's just weird. I've never seen. How come there's no pickup on the outside? Or because this module right here, this coil, is part of the CDI. The other part you need for the CDI is simple. This ignition coil. This ignition coil right here is designed with the CDI module built in. Now, couple little things. Your motorcycle wiring harness, you don't have to change it. You don't have to touch it. That black wire right here on your harness is going to plug into the exact same wiring that it did on your bike. There is no difference. The one wire that you pull off your ignition coil is going to plug into your new coil or module coil. The mounting holes are in the exact same spot. So you're literally only modifying the little bank and opening up those holes with the file. That's the whole modification on this whole thing. You're taking out this coil. It is not needed anymore. And you're taking out your points and your condenser. That's it. There is no more to this. That's it. Now, once this thing is bolted on and torqued down, that's it for modification. Throw your cover back on. Done. You're it. That's it. So that is how you have to modify it. So, tomorrow night, I'm going to actually show you guys how it works. We're going to, tomorrow night, we're going to torque this down. I'm not doing it tonight. I got a lot going on tonight. But I'm going to show you how this coil right here is going to make spark. And we're going to hook it directly up to this black wire. And I'm going to show you, once again, the points plate with no points on it and how it works. It's a really cool setup. And I use this setup on my KD, my KM, and my KE100. In fact, Suzuki DS80 has the same units, okay? The Suzuki DS80 has the same coil and the same mod. Well, they're made by Nippon Denso. These are Kawasaki. But you can get these two items right here from Suzuki on the DS80. Same coil. In fact, in some of my videos, I show you guys the coil number and all that. Because these coils right here are very hard to find, and that right there is hard to find. In fact, I got these out of an engine I just picked up. So that's where I get them, because I have a hard time finding them as well. However, they're on different bikes. So, the Nippon Denso ignition coil in my KD video, the ignition... the one I got the Ignition 101 video shows you the Nippon Denso coil, and this is off the the KE100, and it's real simple. And that module looks like this. This is the 3 generator coil right here for the 6 volts, and then this coil right here was mounted right here to give you guys a little update on what it looked like. And any KE after 1996 to 2001 had it, and what you're looking for is this blue connector. If you have that blue connector, you have CDI ignition on your KE. And if you have 2 of these white ones, the white one will have that green and that black wire on the white connector. That's points. So if you're at the junkyard and you look, you pull the thing on, and you're like, oh, I see 2 white connectors, 2 white of these, then you have points ignition. But if you see a white and a blue, then you have CDI. That's the module, the magneto you're going to want to grab. If you're doing this on an MT1 or a kv75, the flywheel is obsolete. You can't use it. Doesn't matter. You have to use the factory one. And I can't wait to show you guys how this thing's going to work. It's crazy. And the timing is already set up on the plate. The plate doesn't have to be timed. It's all automatic. So that opens up a whole field of awesomeness. So tomorrow we have to hook a ground up to this coil on this motor, and then I will show you guys how it sparks. And maybe we can mount it right up in here someplace, right onto the housing. We'll bolt it there, run the wire up, and I'll show you guys how it gets ignition. So it's really, really cool how it works, and I'm very, very pleased to be able to teach you guys and show you guys some of my tips and tricks. Many, 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 many benefits to this. 1, you get a lower idle. 2, you get a smoother idle. 3, there's no maintenance. You don't have to readjust points. You don't have to buy points. It saves you money down the road. When you have the bike in storage for the winter and then you pull it out and you go to fire it up, you know you get spark. You don't have to worry about condensation or moisture getting in there and destroying it. So this is some of the benefits to having a, what'd you call it there? CDI ignition. So please keep that stuff in mind when you're doing these bikes, because it's very, very important. CDI ignition is an amazing tool to have on your bikes. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully you guys share this video and do it to your bikes. I mean, hey, you know what? It's got so many benefits. A crisper, faster, what do you call it, throttle response. And I love doing it. So tomorrow we're going to get the spark on the bike. And maybe if I get some fuel in it, I might even fire it up as a New Year's, what a hell of a New Year's video, huh? That'd be awesome. Let's do that. Let's fire this thing up. Let's see if we can get to at least kick. So that's what my next plan is, to get this thing fired up. No promises on that because I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but I do have the carburetor and it's all rebuilt. So we'll see if we can get this on the bike and fire. Oh, no, we can't. I'm sorry. I got to fix that oil leak that's under here. Well, we'll get spark on it anyway. I'll show you guys how to check for spark. And then we'll fix that oil leak and get this thing fired up. That's right, because I got broken coolant fins. I got a cylinder on order for up, down, down, bottom. And I got to get the shaft for that. That doesn't matter, though, for starting it. Yeah, we got a few things to do. But we will get to that. We will get that done. Exhausting, guys. I'm just, wow. I've been doing this now for 2 days. Not feeling good. Down here, going back and forth on the parts and pieces, trying to modify them, getting them cleaned up and getting them done. I got other projects going on, getting rid of the Christmas stuff. Well, not getting rid of it, taking it down. So I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for subscribing. We got 1,206 subscribers. Very awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for hanging in there with me and checking out my channel. And hopefully you guys find these videos interesting, and hopefully they help you guys with your build. The purpose of this channel, and since I got you guys here, I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit about me and about my channel and what this is for. There's not really much support on these bikes, okay? You got your repair manual, and that's it. And when you talk to somebody about a CDI like this, they have no idea what you're talking about. Now, I've been a mechanic now for 30 years, and every time I explain to someone about this type of ignition system, they have no clue of what I'm even talking about. Like, no, there's a pickup on the outside, there's a little trigger thing on there, and every time the flywheel passes it, it ignites, it fires. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. This doesn't have that, okay? This doesn't have that. This type of system is different. People go online and go, oh, I ordered an ignition coil for a KE100 and it says it works with CDI. It's an orange high-performance coil. Nope, does not work. And I've said that 100 times before. Why? Because the CDI unit, the module, the little box that you would have somewhere on your frame, is built into this particular coil. And the same module is used on the Suzuki DS80. It's built into that coil. So, those little performance POS coils that you can get on eBay don't work on this bike. It doesn't work on the Kawasaki KEs. It doesn't work on the rotary valves. It doesn't work on our bikes, guys. Okay? Also, the ignition system is separate from the charging system. This is the charging system. It's got its own wiring. It's got its own issues. This is the CDI unit, or the points unit, would have its own issues. They're not in the same circuit. You don't need a battery to run these. Same way. If you had the CDI with the pickup on the outside, you need a power source and all that crap. And basically it ties in with the charge coil to that. No. This one does it all here. And here. It's 2 units, not 3. And when I say 3, I mean like, well, 4 actually. It would have a charge coil, it would have a pickup coil, and then it'll have a module, and then an ignition coil. And it's a whole wiring nightmare. You're rewiring the whole bike, yada yada yada. Piece of crap. I literally did all this really cheap. I used the wiring on the back of this is basically this black wire that comes up and runs underneath to this harness. It's cut. I stripped them off about 1/4 of an inch, So if you're looking at this right here, about 1/4 of an inch. Okay. I soldered them together using a 30-watt soldering iron. I took the insulation tube, which is this thing right here, which this one already had one on it, and then I slid it up over it, okay, so it's protected. And then, once that's all done, that's it. That was all there is to it. There is no more. It's, see you later, have a nice day, bye-bye. Okay, there is no extra more stuff, okay? So, just so you guys know, once again, there is no module, there is no other pickup. You need this particular pickup. That pickup that I showed you, this one right here, is different. Well, what's so different about it? The windings, the amount of windings, and the way they're wound, okay? This one has its own unique way of doing it. Excuse me. They're not the same. You can't put this on this plate and use it in a CDI ignition. It won't work. The bolt holes are the same, but the electrical mechanicals of it are different. Same thing with this one. And even the thickness of the, what do you call it, the generator, okay, is this thick, this one's thin, this has way more windings as this thing does, and it just doesn't work. So, I'm tired, guys. Been a long day. Make sure your wires don't rub on anything either. If they do, definitely secure them. And another little tip you can do is take a zip tie. If it feels like it's getting too close to that, you can put a zip tie on it and cut the tag off, and then it will bump the zip tie, which is what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to throw a zip tie on that and make it so the zip ties the bumper. It's not going to go anywhere. It's nice and tight, but I'm a precaution guy. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So, yeah, I'm going to take the flywheel here, put the screw in there, put one of the points, clean that all up, throw that on there. I'm really happy the way this thing came out. Doesn't rub, turns over nice and smooth. Then I'll throw the, what do you call it there, the flywheel key in, torque it down, and get that all done. So you can see there's no points in there. You can see where the condenser was right there. That circle part. And then if you look up here, you can see where the bolt is for the points. Right there's no points in this thing. None at all. Magnets are good, I'll tell you that. That thing is strong. And then we'll go from there. So, anyway, guys, that's all I have for you for tonight. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. If you guys have any questions or any comments, by all means, please send them my way. This is part 3 of this video. I think I haven't posted the part 2 yet. I have to do this part 2. So I'm going to do the part 2 first. I'm going to post that first. Then I'm going to do the part 3. And part 4 will be showing you guys the spark and the final end of it, which is basically what you're seeing here. But we're going to ground the coil, and I'll show you the spark. And then if I can get some fuel in this thing, I'm going to fire it off. I know it's leaking oil a little bit, but we're not going to let it run long. So I don't see an issue with that. Kickstart is already on the motor still, so I think I can kick it over and get that done. Then we're going to do some carb talks. I was in the forum and I saw one of the guys getting basically bullied about his idle speed screw, and so I'm going to help him out with that and show him how, you know, all that carburetor stuff is gone. And remember, guys, you know, if you know something that someone doesn't know and they're asking a question, okay, please be nice, be kind, because you know what, that could have been you. You may not have known that the person didn't know where an idle speed screw is, or an idle mixture screw, or how many turns to turn it out. Okay, we're all into these bikes together. We're a big, happy Kawasaki family, and this is what we do. We build these bikes, we modify them, we trick them out. Me, I like to make them bulletproof, and this is one of the modifications that I do, and I enjoy doing it. And I enjoy passing this knowledge on to you. So, most people don't know if this Kawasaki KE100 CDI unit will work on this little 75. Same as they didn't know where that speed screw is. Okay? So keep that in mind. And there are plenty of things that I don't even know about. So just keep an open mind when you guys are doing these, you know, when people are in the forums and they're asking. Don't be a typewriter tough guy. Just be nice and help people out, you know. Tell them where it's located. You know, maybe they're doing it for their kid. Maybe they're doing it for a neighbor's kid. Maybe they're doing it for, you know, a kid who's been down on his luck and trying to get a bike up and running for him. You don't know what the situation is. So be kind, okay? And, guys, 2019, we are going to be building some serious bikes. We're going to be finishing off the KE102 build this year. So we're going to be doing a lot of videos on that. That is going to be a big one. We're going to be starting that in the spring. And for right now, I'm just going to try to get rid of a lot of these little videos that I need to get done. I'm going to be working on this one throughout the winter. This one right here, I got the, I got a brake video coming up. We got a lot of stuff. So we're going to be tearing this whole engine down, putting it back together, and cleaning it up, and buying what it needs, and fixing this engine right here. I wasn't going to fix this engine. I was going to use it for parts. Nah, we're going to build it. It's a 1980, and you can tell because it's got this little plug here. That plug right there is the detent for the shifting, so it's got the 1 down and the 2 up. It's a semi-automatic 3-speed. So, we're going to build this thing. We're going to fix it. We're going to finish it off. We're going to build it up. We're going to make it run nice, and we're going to go from there. So, whatever this thing needs, it's going to get. We're going to clean it all up, degrease it, detail it, and get this onto the bike. So we're going to build the bike and go from there. So thanks for watching. Again, I keep saying that and then I keep rambling on. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Any questions, any comments, by all means, please let me know. Oh, here we go again. On Facebook, guys, I created a forum. It says Kawasaki KE, KD, KM, KV, MC1, all that type of stuff. It's a group. I just started it. Check it out. Send a membership thing. I'll accept it. And this allows me to talk to you through Messenger. And it's really, really cool. So I built the forum. And I have it on there as the Kawasaki KEs. But as you guys know on this channel, we do Hondas and everything else. We do the MB5s. We do the Yamaha Breeze 4-wheelers. I mean, whatever. Doesn't matter what you got. I put that on there as a title. By all means, please go there. Hang out with me. Share your pictures of your bikes. I really like to see them. And it allows me to get more in depth with you. And allows me to hang out with you guys, talk with you guys, share information. And, you know, we can, what do you call it there? If you guys have problems, you guys can instant message me, blah, 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 and I can help you work through your situations with your bike. It's one more thing that allows me to get closer, but I have to say, I do like the comments on my YouTube channel, so by all means, please keep those comments coming. I still need to grow that YouTube channel, and that YouTube channel allows me to do the videos because I will not be posting videos on the Facebook channel. However, I will be posting pictures and that sort of thing. A lot of photos and stuff like that. So, and also selling some parts. So sometimes I have extra parts and stuff to sell for the KE100s, the KDs, the KMs, the KV, whatever. Go there, subscribe to it. I'll accept it, and then we can go from there. And if you guys have parts, we can exchange or buy and sell. Either way, it will all work out. So, thank you guys very much. Have yourselves a great night.